Yeah, I tried Crucible. I didn't like Crucible. I didn't try Buried Ruins. I think a second Academy Ruins is way better than Buried Ruins because Buried Ruins I think you have to sacrifice. I see that the Buried Ruins has an interaction with Crucible, but I don't think Buried Ruins is Buried Ruins I don't think is very good actually. So Grixis Twin or Grixis Delver I would assume. Grixis Delver. So Chalice is pretty good, but he has Kolaghan's Command. I think we're probably just gonna dismember this right away. We are a little bit heavy on the lands here. I'm gonna talk about the blue-green. I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring you, but you know, things are going on here. I can't talk about everything. But I'm not saying blue-green is a bad deck or that you shouldn't play it. But I'm very happy with the blue list I have here, and I think it just wouldn't be the same deck if you splash green. I'm not sure if it does play X. I'm gonna have a look at the list, and if it does play X, then it's just not the same deck. So I think we dismember right away. We don't want him to get any more. I think that's better than playing the Chalice on 0 here. And the blue-green list, I mean, I really like this deck because it's like a really... This is as close to a control deck as you can get in Modern, I think. There's very little other control decks in the format, if you ask me. Well, if it doesn't play X, I believe it's just gonna be really, really tough to hit those, to work with the lands. Even if you run two-colored signets or talismans and a pain land. I mean, a pain land, I guess you can get the pain land with the expedition map, but still. Chalice on 0 is so much value here, but I didn't want to tap because I was kind of scared of counter, and I kind of want to get Tron. Yeah, it's the same deck, and it has Sylvan Scrying and Ancient Stirrings. But I mean, that's 8 cards. You have to cut something to add 8 cards, and then there's also still the issue with the mana base. So we could first, but I think I actually want to get Power Plant. Geez, another land. So do we start out with Chalice? I think we start out with Chalice. Chalice for 1. How about Lightning Bolt, Serum Vision, Thought Scour, Gitaxian Probe, Delver? Did I say Chalice for 0? I meant 1. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I'm trying to talk about too many things at the same time. If he has another counter here, that would be really annoying. Well, I want to play this Arbiter. I want to lead with this Arbiter. Okay, my computer wants to restart. How about no? He has a Snap Card Star, okay. See if he chooses Remand or Deprive. Oh man. It's at least one tower. Think Tech Edge. Probably should have kept the Tech Edge because of Tar Pit. Yeah, that was probably a misplay. Oh well. Oh, I should have played tower next turn mine, then we could have had Mindslaver up. Why did I play an island? Well, we're just gonna have to play Vomka Engine, I think. Treasure Mage Vomka Engine, but I should have played tower and next turn mine, I think. Well, we're gonna have to see if this resolves first. We drew only lands, like seriously. What did we drew? We resolved the first one knowledge, but the only non-land I think we draw was Silent Arbiter. So let's see, we are here at 6, we can go to 8, so Vomka Engine is safe versus Mana Leak, basically. Although I don't suppose he plays that. I mean, the whole thought process is not really. I'm not running I. Why would you run I? I don't believe I is very good in this list. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been so condescending with the why would you run I. I think diversity is a very good thing. And if you believe that I is good, you should try it out. And maybe it is. Maybe everybody is wrong. That's a possibility. The last thing I want to do is speak out against diversity and against trying out new cards. That's something I believe in very much. Okay. It's too easy to think in categories like cards are unplayable just because nobody's playing them. And I haven't seen a single person playing I have Ugin and Blue Tron. And that's why my initial reaction was like, why would you play that? But that's just the wrong way to go about it because that's how people thought about Chalice at first. And Chalice is amazing in this deck. And that's how people thought about Eugene at first. Like, why would you play Eugene in this deck? Eugene is bad. Why would you play Chalice in this deck? Chalice is bad. And it's not true. So, I don't know. I've never tried it. I think this is a good trade for us here. Definitely don't want to go down to 5 because I'm dead to this. Plus, like, another attack. It doesn't produce any mana for one. I think that's a pretty big deal. And you can already find the things. I think we tried to remount here, although it's not that good. Just because maybe we draw into another. Maybe we draw into something that matters, that wins us the game even. I mean, he's just gonna recast it, but oh, okay. We could repeal. Actually, we could repeal recast. Oh, I don't want to tap this way. I quite like this. Ooh, Angel. Did we play land? We did. We were at 7. Would we rather? I think we would rather have engine than angel. I'm sorry that I'm kind of not taking part in this debate, but I'm trying to concentrate on the match. Okay. I think I just play this. We're not really worried at this point about land destruction. No, I'm not streaming Pauper right now. I'm streaming Modern. The thing is, we draw so many cards with First Knowledge, and we have Treasure Mage to get our win conditions. If it tapped for one colorless, I could really see replacing Urborg with it maybe. Like, you really don't want to replace a blue source. I can tell you that much. But sometimes it will just be in your starting hand, and your hand will be unkeepable. If you have like two lands and one of them is Eye of Ugin. At least Urborg or Tolaria West in your starting hand don't screw you over that much. So if I remon, he recasts. But again, the same reasoning applies as before. We could draw another card. So let's see what we draw here. I don't like that he got a Snapcaster. Because now he can Snapcaster get another thing. I think I'm gonna equip here on the... No, never mind. I'm not gonna equip. I think you can equip on the Angel, but I think he's gonna Snapcaster Kolagans anyway. The Angel probably. It's really annoying that we don't have a third blue source. My anti-viral computer thingy is really pissing me off right now. Why does it have to do this while I'm streaming? Sadly, sadly it doesn't ask me for permission to do an update or to do a file scan. Well, it seems like I was able to stop it. Oh, we might be dead here too. Oh no, we have still Angel. Well, Kolaghan's command, kill the... Well, no, I don't think we can be. I don't think he can kill us. Maybe if he had a land drop. But even then, it's very unlikely. Yep. So let's see what we board. So I think let's sort this again. Chalice is obviously pretty good, but it's also kind of bad against Kolaghan's command, so it's a double-edged sword. But I think you bring in more Chalice. Well, let's do the sorting here. You bring in more Chalice. You bring in like one country because it's really good. You probably board out like two expedition maps, like Spellburst. Mm, I think Negate is pretty good against Tazigor. Right now it would be free for free, so right now it would be kind of good. I could see playing something like Etherize because of Young Power Monster, basically. I could see Dismember again because it's really good against Tazigor and against Angler. But the thing is, Dismember always before life matters so much if they play like Electrolyze, Bolt, Snapcaster Bolt, something like that. But Dismember really hurts yourself. But I think these three cards can go out for sure, and these three cards have to go in because Chalice on 1 is just really good, and we just have to protect this from Kolagon's command. That's the tough thing. And Wurmkanjin is just really tough to deal with for him. He doesn't have good removal against. The best thing he can do is Kolagon's command this. Basically, the only good card he has is Kolagon's command. As long as we counter those, we're in a good position. I think maybe you board in negate when you're worried that much about the Kolagon's command. Maybe it's okay to board out one repeal for like a negate. Maybe it's also okay to board out one of these. I think the Platinum Angel's not very good. The Platinum Angel just dies to so much stuff that the Womka engine doesn't die against, and the Better Skull you can bounce. So like the Terminate and the Kolagon's command is way better against Platinum Angel than it is against Womka engine. So yeah, I think cards you could cut is like Angel Repeal. I think I'm gonna cut one Repeal for Negate. Or maybe for Dismember. I think for Dismember actually. I know that he boards in Blood Moon, but we have three repeal. We have three ways to bounce it. Blood Moon is not that good against Blue Tron. Blood Moon is not that good. I think this is the worst hand probably of all the hands we had. But yeah. So that's just mulligans, right? That happens. Let's hope we hit our land drop. If we hit our land drop, it's not all that bad. We have decent draw. Well, we have to get to 3 mana, but if we get to 3, we have 2 really good draw spells. And at least he's having a slow start. Well, so far so good. So far it's not horrible. I just really wish. Well, to be honest, the 7 was unkeepable, and the 6 was also unkeepable. Maybe the 5 was even unkeepable. Maybe I should have thrown that away too. But I think the 5 was a decent keep because exactly this happened. We got, at the very least, we got a fast chalice, right? I mean, the 6 had a dismember, but the 6 didn't even have a blue source. The 6 had only like a Tron land, single Tron land, and a dismember as playable spells. At least this way we got an island, and we knew any lands we top deck are gonna help us. I don't know. I think we just got dealt a really bad hand, quite literally, and um, no matter how you're gonna argue that we just didn't have any good choices. And we probably, oh, this is one turn too late. Come on. And we just, I think we did the best so far with what we had. It's okay if we lose this. At least we know that it's just because of the mulligans. And we might still win this. He might just be, if the rest of his cards in his hand are all CMC1 and he doesn't have a Collar command, and we draw land soon, then, you know, we might still win this. Although he has a 5-turn clock. And he has a Molten Rain. Which was like the best card he could have against our hand. Or against our current board position. Oh jeez. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We could tech edge one of these red sources, hope that he doesn't have another red source. That way he can't replay the Molten Rain. We could fabricate into something, but what would we fabricate into? I think we just first and we hope that we hit more lands in response to the Molten Rain. He has an insane hand against us, both Sowing Soul and Molten Rain. And it's possible that he has this hand, and it's not even that good. If we had a hand which actually had like land drops and like Condescend Remount, we would have been able to Condescend the Sowing Salt. We would have been able to remount the we did remount the Molten Rain, so. So Sowing Salt is really good against us, obviously. You have to counter this. This is way better than Blood Moon is. No, he didn't play a land yet, so he might still play Molten Rain, so I'm keeping mana open for Condescend. I mean, we could have remounted this, but really it doesn't matter. Yeah, Sowing Salt is a great card. I really like the card too. I mean, obviously I'm just on the receiving end, but I think it's just a great card. Well, well, well. Well, it's a 4-mana sorcery. You just have to counter it. Tazigor is very good against Repeal, but he's very weak against Remount. It's kind of weird, but he doesn't play the Molten Rain. Song request. Okay, we lose. Oh, well, was just no way to win this, I would think. Let's see what we would have drawn. Yeah. So Slaughter Games is actually sometimes really good against Tron too. My list is a little bit stronger against that, but Slaughter Games naming engine is actually pretty good against most lists. So I think we bring in both negates for Molten Rain and Sowing Salt. What do we board out though? Are we 4chan right now? I don't think so. So what do we bring? What do we board out? I think Angel is like a thing that can go out. Because Angel, it doesn't do anything by its own, like when it enters the battlefield, like Titan does or like Eugene does, and it's easy to remove. So I think Angel can go out. Angel can go out. Maybe something like Anticipate. Yeah, Condescend gets around Chalice for 1. Condescend on the stack is like how much you paid for it plus 1. If you condescend for 1, if you can condescend for everything but 0. If you condescend for 0, it gets countered. But why would you condescend for 0? I'm kind of split between cutting Anticipate or Dismember. He's still playing Blood Moon. We need it. I feel we need at least 3 bounce spells, and these are really good against Young Pyromancer and Delver. Yeah, we can't really cut the dismember or the bounce spells. Spellsky needs to be in. It's just a random blocker. I think I would rather play Bottle Gnomes. I would play neither, but don't think Spellsky is very good. I think I'm just gonna cut this Anticipate because it's just such a blank. I mean, this is definitely not a bad card, but all of these cards are kind of mandatory. All of these cards serve a distinct purpose, and this card, this card helps you find, the things you're looking for. O-Stone, I think O-Stone is very good. Let's give this a try. So this is the deciding game of the deciding match. Quite like this hand. It has a Condescend, it has a Chalice and an Expedition map. It has a great curve, basically. We get to Condescend his first Molten Rain or his first important thing. You might be right. It's entirely possible you're right. So I'm thinking here, Chalice on 0. Yeah, I think I just slam the Chalice on 0. I don't want the Chalice to be countered, and we can crack next turn if we don't draw a land. If we draw a land next turn, it's just really great. If you place a young power monster here, we have a dismember. That's the only thing. Well, look at this. He said double. I think he misclicked. I don't think he wanted to get that. Oh. This is Shadow of Doubt, obviously. Right? This must be Shadow of Doubt. Don't you think so? We have some time, so I'm gonna think about this. I mean, even if it is Shadow of Doubt, why wouldn't you get a Steam Vance? Jeez, I don't want to crack the Expedition map and run into Shadow of Doubt. Could be Dispel. But I also don't want to miss my land drop. I think we play around Shadow of Doubt. We just wait until he taps for something. Thing is, missing land drops is really huge here. Okay, so that resolves. I think we dismember this right away in our turn before he gets to untap and do anything. He probably uses up like a Thought Scar now. Well, he doesn't have anything. That's interesting. Also, since he doesn't, well, now he has double red. Since he didn't have double red, it was unlike, or he needs double red for Sowing Salt and for Molten Rain, basically. Is what I'm trying to say. Is what I'm stammering about. But now he has double red, so whatever. This is huge. This is really huge. Silent Arbiter is a decent blocker. I like Riemann too. Riemann is really good against Tazigor. I think I throw away the Silent Arbiter and put the Riemann on the top. I really like having Riemann open next turn. I mean, we would have had Snapcaster Dismember and Snapcaster Condescend, but I like the Riemann too. Maybe it's a misplay. Maybe I should have just believed in the Snapcaster Dismember, Snapcaster Condescend. But the thing is, I mean, we have Snapcaster Condescend against like another Sowing Salt or actually now that he has so much mana, Snapcaster Condescend would have not been enough against Molten Rain or Sowing Salt. So um, let's see what comes off of it. I think at the end of a turn I think we first. I don't think we Snapcaster Dismember. We haven't seen Delvers, but I think he is playing Delvers. I think his creatures are Delver, Young Paramount, or Tazigor, probably Angler. Well, we haven't seen Delver, or have we seen Delver? My memory is so bad. I think actually maybe game 1 he actually played a Delver. Yeah, I think. Oh, we could have Snapcaster Condescended here. We should have Snapcaster Condescended. I didn't pay attention. I'm sorry. Could have saved that Remount for later. Oh yeah, never mind. We played against the Delver when we played against Twin. So I kind of want to Snapcaster block. But the thing is, we don't necessarily get value out of the Condescend or the Remount. So I think I just let it be for now. Just take the damage here first at the end. First is really important here to hit our land drops. We don't need another Chalice. Like maybe one more Chalice is good, but not that many. So now we probably Snapcaster block. Target first for knowledge. I mean, the only thing that he can have against this is Bolt, which gets eaten up. He could have Electrolyze or Terminate, but I'm not sure if these lists actually play Electrolyze. They do play Electrolyze, right? We die to Electrolyze. So he probably has Electrolyze. But what is this? Cryptic. I did not expect to see Cryptic. Which we can just remount. Or maybe we want to remount our own spell. Maybe we remount our own spell. I think I like that a little bit more. Yeah, that will make sense. And he has a spell snare, but that doesn't do anything. Thankfully. So this doesn't matter, but I'm just using the Snapcaster here as removal, basically. I think remounting my own Delver was the right decision. I'm not sure if you agree. So we could go to 7 here and play Resolve the Mindslaver, or we could Thirst. Since he has only one card in his hand, I think I'm gonna go with Resolving a Mindslaver while he's tapped out. Wow. Well, I think I throw away the Sundering Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because even after Sundering Titan, he's gonna have enough mana. I would just play the second Jealous second chalice here. The thing with throwing away the chalice is if he has a Colagons command, it's really really bad. But maybe I just misplayed horribly. Next turn I transmute into mine. It's also entirely possible that he played the snare because he forgot about the chalice. It happens. It happens to me too. Like sometimes I just play expedition map and I have a chalice trigger happening. Chalice for free. Chalice for free is interesting, but I play many 3-drops myself. First for Knowledge is the most important, but there's also Oblivion Stone. So we transmit here into mine. He has lethal next turn, by the way. So what's a better play here? Eugene or Mindslaver? I would say Eugene. And I think we're dead. Did I misplay somewhere? Is there something I could have done differently? Did you guys see anything? I think you chalice sooner for 2. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit after we are done here. Chalice for 2 was correct. You could argue that. I can see why you would argue that, and you're probably right. In this context, you're probably right. This was a mistake, probably to play the second chalice on 1. Usually, you only want to play chalice on 1 or 0. Because look at our converted mana cost list. As you can see, we play an insane amount of spells on 3. Especially after sideboarding. We boarded something like, we boarded in Dismember. Well, I'm just not gonna board now, but generally you can see we play a lot of 3-drops, and we play really important 2-drops too. And the thing is, there's actually more 2-drops than you can see here, because there's also Condescend for 1 is also on this pile, Condescend for 2 is on this pile, Repeal for 1 is on this pile, Spellburst for 1 is on this pile, Spellburst for 2 and Repeal for 2 is on this pile. And so usually you don't chalice for 2 or for 3. The things you chalice on is usually chalice on 1, chalice on 4 because we only play 1 4-drop, and chalice on 4 kills Cryptic Command and Scapeshift and Splinter Twin. And against these decks, the chalice on 4 is usually just game over because they can't bounce it with Cryptic, and their win condition is a 4-drop, Splinter Twin or Scapeshift. It's not as good against Splinter Twin as it is against Scapeshift. And chalice on 0 because we don't play anything on 0. So that said, you are, I think, in hindsight, you are correct. And the problem is here that I was stuck in the mindset. You play chalice on 1, or you play chalice on 4. You don't play chalice on 2 and on 3. And 90% or 99% of the games, that's the correct decision. But this game, we only lose, or we probably only lose to Remand or Deprive or Mana Leak. Well, not Mana Leak, Remand or Deprive, right? Or like Negate. So in that game, it would have been the right decision, because even if we top deck a Remand or a Cyclonic Rift, it doesn't matter. So in this game, this was the exception of a rule, and I was just too ingrained in my thinking about chalice. Because I do this quite often. I play a second chalice on 1, and this might raise some eyebrows, but I really like it because they often top deck Kolaghan's Command or something. But the thing is, we would have probably died to Kolaghan's Command anyway, and then suddenly your Chalice is gone. And if you have two Chalice, then you're just, you have one backup. But I think in this game, really, in hindsight, you are correct. Chalice on 2 would have been the right play. And I just misplayed that I didn't see it. But nobody's perfect, and I'm really happy that you guys taught me this. I would have not realized it by myself, I think, and next time I will maybe realize it in time and play it differently. Anyway, this is the deck. Let me sort it a little bit so you have an easier way of looking at it.